Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today for our workshop on how to create stories for social sharing and also for mobile optimization. And today's workshop topics will be covering what issue stories are. So we do have two different features here on issue, one of them being article stories and visual stories. So we'll be diving into what the differences between those two features would be and what the best use cases would be for those two story features. Again, we'll be hopping into a live demo just to showcase how you can create and share them out. And just a little bit of housekeeping as well. All participants will be muted during the duration of the presentation. So if you do have any questions, feel free to hit that little Q&A button on your Zoom frame and type in your question. I'll go in through the course of this workshop to answer it. And please note that we are streaming this workshop live to Facebook and YouTube, and it's currently being recorded. Okay. So just a little bit about stories. So stories is a great way for you to highlight specific pieces within your long form content and maybe bringing it out into smaller content pieces. So this is a great way for you to translate something that would probably be better read on a desktop to a mobile phone. And within the issue system, you can create as many stories as you want. And it's a great way for you to create more targeted content for your readers to view. And here on the next slide, you can kind of see how you could transform your content into different asset pieces from your original document. So here on the left-hand side is the traditional issue reading experience, how you would see it if you read it on an embed or a full screen reader or just as a publication on your issue profile page. And on the right-hand side, you could see how it looks like if you were to translate it into a GIF, an article story, and visual story. And you know, if you can notice here, you can already see the differences visually between a visual story and article story. So article story, you could see is more of an article form where you're taking specific article pieces from your original document, translating that into something different versus a visual story. It's more of grabbing different visual assets and creating more of a MP4 slideshow from that. And just a little bit of fun fact for everyone who is joining us today, more than 60% of the online audience is on mobile. So it's more important than ever before to make your content mobile optimized so it's easier for your viewers to view it and read it. Okay, and here we'll be diving into article stories. So here is a screenshot of what an article story would look like on our platform. So with article stories, you could create as many as you want, and it's a great way for you to use as a content marketing tool, just to draw more attention back to your original document. So a use case I always like to recommend to people is that you could create many different article stories from a singular publication piece. So for example, I could maybe create 10 different article stories and use it and share out on my social media channel in order to drive traffic back to that original document. This is especially important if you're using a digital sales feature, and maybe you just want to share out a particularly interesting piece to drive interest back to your original document. And any article stories that you create on issue can be easily shared out as a link. And please note, though, that if you are creating an article story from an unlisted publication, unlisted being that it is more of a private document, article stories are indexed. So please keep that in mind if you don't want other people to be able to view your article story outside of select readers. And here you can see a screenshot. This particular publisher created 16 different article stories from the same content piece. So it's more of a way for you to repurpose your current document instead of having to create entirely new assets. And when you do create an article story on issue as well, we will create a table of contents for you, and this will actually live right under your publication. So you can see on the bottom here, there's two different tabs, one for details, which will display your the details, the title and description of your document, and under here, under what's inside, we'll create a table of contents of all the different article stories you've created from your document piece, as well as the specific pages that it has been extracted from. So any article stories that you create within issue will have some SEO impact. So anything will actually be indexed within Google. So people might be able to find it organically if they're looking for the specific keywords that are located in your article story. And here we'll hop into visual stories. So in comparison to article stories, visual stories have more a video format, which is great for sharing out on different social media channels. So if you're looking to post it directly to your stories in Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, this is a great way to do so. Visual stories have the advantage of being able to share out as either a AMP link, and AMP stands for Google Accelerated Mobile Pages, and this is a Google initiative. And all this does is it'll make it so that your visual stories can load faster on a mobile device, or it can be downloaded directly as MP4 video and then shared out wherever you want. And if you do have more than 10,000 followers on Instagram, you can always add in a click-through action to swipe up for any visual stories that you share out on that platform. Again, this has some SEO impact. So any visual stories that you create, any keywords that you input in here, so you can see from C to C, it will actually be indexed on Google and people will be able to find it organically. And for everyone joining us today, we are actually hosting a contest for the specific feature. So if you are interested in creating a visual or article story, please join our contest to create an issue story, and I'll provide a link to the terms and conditions in our chat here. So all you need to do is create a visual story using Issuu and then share it out on any of the following social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And use the hashtag #MyIssueStory and tag us at Issuu. And you could create as many stories as you want, and each post from each of the stories created can count as an entry towards the contest. And so at the end of each month, we'll decide on a winner at random. And the winner will actually be posted on our Issuu blog. So you will have a little bit of exposure there on through our blog page. And you'll have a chance to win $50. A $50 Amazon gift card through us. So if you're interested, please join the contest and look on that page for more information. Please note that eligibility is limited to US contestants at this time, but if there is a lot of interest, we'll look towards expanding it more internationally. And for anyone who is joining us today, we do have a special promotion for everyone. You can receive 30% off on our Issuu premium annual plan. Just use the code Academy30. And here you can see all the features that are available on our premium plan. And we do have a post-webinar survey. So if anyone is interested in learning a little bit more about our workshop today, or if you want to see any other workshop topics being covered by Issuu, please feel free to enter in the information there, and we'll go in and see what other workshop topics people would like to have covered. And if you do want a copy of our workshop today, I'll post it in our chat just so you have access to it and for later on. And all the details of the contest will be in there as well under our Wednesday workshop. Okay, and so let's hop into our live demo. Okay, so here you can see we're on the publisher homepage, and the first thing that we want to do is head over to the left-hand navigation panel, and you can see there are two options for you to press into your articles and visual stories. So if I press into article stories here, you can see that there is an option for me to create a new story directly from this page. And if I do press on that button that you see there, you can see that it is actually drawing in assets from the latest publication that I published on Issuu. If you want to create a publication, a article story from an older publication, what you would want to do is actually exit out from this page, head back to the publisher homepage. I'll leave this page here. And then what you can do is press into publications on the left-hand side. And you'll notice as I hover over each of these publications, there is a widget for you to press into, one of them being article stories and the next one being visual stories. And this is a way for you to create an article story from any of your older publications. So if I press into here, you can see the same screen populate. So here are all the spreads and pages within my current document. And what I can do from here is select the pages that I want to have included in my article story. So I'll press the first few pages because I do want the images from here, and the specific article story that I want to build out is actually going to be located on pages 14, 15, and 16. And I'll include pages 27, 28, just because I do want to have the images in here included. And once I've finished selecting the pages, I'll go ahead and press into my editor. And while we're waiting here as well, I would love to launch a poll just to learn where everyone learned about Issuu and where everyone is interested in sharing out their stories after they've created them. Okay, so now that we're on this page here, you can see that on the right-hand side, our system actually auto-populated the stories for me. So you can see that it has extracted various paragraphs and visual assets from the original document, and it kind of laid it out in a way that made sense in the system. So if you like the way this looks and you want to save on time on how it's being created, what you can do is just save this document as a draft, preview it here. Oops, let me go back. And if you like the way everything looks, you could go ahead and publish it. But what we can do from this step is actually go ahead and just preview what it looks like to create one from scratch. So to remove all of these images, you could just press into this trash can icon to remove all the segments. And from here, we have a fresh slate in order to create an article story. So the first step that you want to take when you are creating any article stories is to press into this image here. And this is what we refer to as our hero image and cover image. And it's the most important image that you will select within your document, as it's the first thing that a reader will see when they press into your article story. So from here, you can see all the different assets I can click into. So I'll select this one here and go ahead and update it in our system. And so after you finish selecting your hero image, the next thing you want to do is to edit the title. And so the title of this specific piece is The Pursuit of Happiness. So I'll go ahead and remove any text I have here and input Pursuit of Happiness. And so now the cover image and the title has been selected. And so the next thing I want to do is start building out my article story. And in order to do so, just hover over the paragraphs that you want to start adding to your article story piece. And you'll notice that as I highlight over each and every paragraph box, I'll highlight in blue. And what I can do is just press into this box once, and you can see on the right-hand side, it will actually populate for me. And I could do this with the next paragraph as well. But as you notice that our system actually detected this as a single paragraph instead of two different paragraphs. So what we can do is go ahead and fix that within our system. So all you need to do is locate where that split would naturally occur. And you can see here on the upper left-hand corner, there is an option for you to play around with how the text boxes are being formatted. So we have the split option here, which will allow you to split apart different paragraphs within your article story. And if press into this box here, you can see that we also have a merge up function, which will combine different paragraphs together. There we go. And for example, maybe I wanted to add in a specific photo image into my document. So I'll press into this cover image here, and you can see it populating on the bottom. And what I can do is I could actually move up the image from here. So if I press into this caret icon, I can move this specific image up. And you could do that also with any of your text boxes as well. So you can move around your text boxes, combine them, and split them apart. And then what we can do from here as well is I can go ahead and add in the quote as well. So you can see here, the original title is The Pursuit of Happiness, but if I wanted to remove that, I could also edit the text box. So here I'll move it here, and we'll just leave happiness is a day under the wing. And on the upper right-hand corner, there is a way for you to edit the text so that you could differentiate between whether it's a headline, a subtitle, a paragraph, a quote, or a byline. So I'll create this into a subtitle here. Actually, sorry, let me change this into a quote. And I'll keep on building out my article story from there. So this here, happiness in the plan, should actually be a subtitle. So I'll change it into a subtitle here. And you could see as I'm building out my article story, how the flow would look like. So keep on adding the subtitles and then adding in all the associated paragraphs. So these two paragraphs should be moved up. So I'll merge them together and I'll change this again into subtitle and keep on adding all of the paragraphs that follow after it. So here I'm noticing that it is getting a little bit text heavy. And so I'll start adding in any additional photos within this article story as well. So I'll add this in, it'll populate at the bottom, and I'll go ahead and move this up. And this is one thing that I always recommend to new first-time article story creators as well, is that when you are creating your article story, make sure that you're having a good flow between your article story and your article story and your text, just to make sure that there is a break for your readers to dive into. Now I'll go in and keep adding in the different sections here. Now combine these two together. And highlighting this and adding in the subtitle. So as you can see, as I continue to add it in, you get the gist of how you can create that article story for your readers to see. And you notice here as well that every single image that I add in, I have the option to create a caption and a credit for it. So if I added in a caption for it, it's so I'll put in enjoying time before my flight. And for the credit, you can put in the credit for whoever took that photo. So the original author was Craig. And if I move up any of my images, you can see that the caption and credit will also follow as well. So this is a great way for you to build out your article story and not have to move up the caption and credit all the time when you move around your paragraphs. And for the last piece here, I'll go ahead and add in my quote. You can see here our system didn't automatically translate these little carrot icons, and it actually is presented some question mark symbols instead. So what I can do here is just remove these symbols and press into upper right corner and change this into a quote here. So it makes it easier for my readers to recognize it as a quote. And after I'm done building out my article story, what I can do in my next step is to go ahead and preview what that would look like on a mobile device. So you can see here the cover image, the title, where the original document was from and who it's by. And as I scroll down, you could see how it is highlighted within this document. And one of the things I'm noticing here is that this paragraph specifically is a little bit long. So what I can do is just go ahead and split this apart, and you can see that it does perform that same action live within the preview. Now go ahead and keep reading through my document. So again, this paragraph is a little bit long, so I'm just going to go ahead and split this apart again. And do it for the next paragraph as well. Okay. So once you're done with just editing and putting in your final touches in the preview state, you can either save this as a draft if you're maybe not ready for it to go live yet. And any drafts that you save within your document, let me go back into Issuu here. If you toggle to article stories on the left-hand side, you can find it in their drafts here. And you can always go back into your editor and edit it from there. But if you're ready for it to be published, go ahead and press publish on the upper right-hand corner. And you can see here, there is a link for you to directly copy out and share anywhere that you want. And here's how it would look like on a desktop setting. And you could see any recommended stories related to your content will display on the right here and also on the bottom. Or you could share it directly to any of your social media accounts by pressing into these widgets here. So I press into Facebook, which I have connected to my Issuu account. You could see the title and also the description of the document. And I could just say, hi, please check out my story. and share it out directly to your newsfeed or even your direct story here. So once you're done building out your article story, what you can do is build out a visual story as well. So to access that visual story panel, all you need to do is go back to your publisher homepage and then hop into visual stories on the left-hand side here. And you can see that, again, you could see all the drafts that you've created, as well as an option for you to create a visual story from your latest publication piece. So if I press into this here, you can see all the different assets that I can click into. Again, very similar expanse to what you saw in the article story feature. So if I select these images here, I could go ahead and press create visual story, and it'll go ahead and gather all those assets. And on the bottom left-hand side here, you can see all the images that were extracted from that specific piece. And the first thing that you want to do is go ahead and select a template to create your visual story from. So we do have 3 different templates here in Issuu: voice, inspire, and engage. So voice is best if you want the most dynamic impact between each of your frames. And if you want to include a lot of images in your document, generally with voice and inspire, you will have a compilation page of all the images that were included in your document. And inspire will have it as well. Let me refresh this page. It does seem like my laptop is having a few slow connections today. We'll give it 1 more minute just to see if it loads. If not, I might have to end the workshop early today. I'm so sorry. But we do have a recorded version of this workshop if anyone is interested in learning it, learning more about visual stories. Right, so it seems like my laptop does not want to load anything right now, so I'm so sorry for the technical inconvenience. If you did want to learn more about visual stories, and unfortunately I can't cover it live today, what you can do is go into our help center here and then log into our webinars and tutorials. And from there, you could go ahead and press into create stories for social sharing and mobile optimization. Also, we'll share this in the chat as well, just for anyone to easily access it. And you can watch the recorded version of how to create a visual story live. So again, I apologize for the inconvenience. Let me know if you do have any questions related to articles or visual stories though. So I'll go ahead and end today's workshop. Thank you again for joining me. And if you are interested, we are covering statistics tomorrow. So please join me for that workshop.